Welcome to your 2022 body transformation. I'm going to take less than 5 minutes to help you navigate the food journey. Often, you may be looking at what you're doing with your nutrition plan and you're wanting to strategize a little bit more. Well, regardless, it's going to start with a plan based on strategy, which is based on life, which is work, travel, going to restaurants, having busy days at work. So I'm going to talk about a meal plan, food prep, and how to be consistent by starting with this journey of a man who went from 295, and I'll share the results in a minute. Abs are made in the kitchen, and Micah needed to be reminded of this. He was sluggish, his joints were starting to hurt, he wasn't as active with his kids, and his relationship, well, he wanted it to get even better. So we reminded him that success is never owned, it's rented, and your fitness success rent is due every day. He had been an athlete in the past, but had to start at day one again, recognizing that there are peaks and valleys in life. And while he'd been at the peak, he was now in the valley, having to remember those steps to climb. And we were able to start at about 300 pounds. And you can see here, he went through an evolution with his exercise and nutrition to get to where you can see on the right, he's about 215 pounds. Now, how does this impact his life? Well, it changes everything. The emotional connection with his wife, with his children, because of how active he is, he was able to do a triathlon, and he's now a wrestling coach. So the right program, how do you pick the right program? There's intermittent fasting, there's keto. Well, these things may not make sense given certain stresses of life. So you may need something that's modified or even a macro approach. What is constant is how you're preparing. Things like having an Instapot or putting all your food in one container, eating in an order of salads and fats, and then proteins and carbs afterward. Giving your food a quality score, not only for today, but for the future. And timing high to medium glycemic carbohydrates toward the beginning of the day and leaning out as you move toward the end. Here you can see there is a glycemic index here, and this, again, ultimately, food is transforming into hormones, which is how you feel throughout the day. And how you feel is often a result of how much control you have over your food and how much control you have over insulin. So, how do you have even more control with these scenarios? Well, you're preparing things that you like to eat. I recommend having 2 fats, 2 proteins, and 2 carbs that on a day in and a day out, when you go grocery shopping, you can have those things ready and prepared. And they're things that you like. You may have a protein shaker that you bring with you to work or even a blender. It's important to bring baggies. I do it all the time. I'm a big fan of putting things in containers, and then when you go, that's just what you eat. Also having an emergency toolkit. I have this protein shaker right here full of water. Water packets are great to add, as well as having low carb snacks after your meal. Also, it's important to consider the role of supplements and technology, having calendar notifications, working backward from a fitness challenge like a triathlon, looking at someone who best represents what you want your physique to look like, and then having the support of others on your journey. So again, food impacts hormones and is an expression of our genes. It ultimately helps enable the best out of our genetic potential. It's so important to be intentional about the food that you eat and to recognize we have systems in the body that can help us to have the quality of life we want. Happy to share these 15 rules of meal plan success so that you, like Micah, can have these quality of life experiences